Good day, YouTube. 29th of December 2018. It's almost 2019, just a few days to go. It's our 4-day weekend for New Year's. And it's my last long weekend for, well, probably about 5 months or so. So I like to make the most of it, and I usually do. This is the John Deere 111 that I took the transaxle out and apart a couple of times. Didn't really need to. It was just a operator and shifter error. It's a good running tractor now. We did a motor swap in it. It's actually about ready to go. The only thing that's not complete is the brake shoe in the transaxle kind of fell apart. So we were working on it. So I've got new brake shoes coming for it. This is really the only thing it needs. Other than that, it's fresh oil full of fuel. It's good to go. So I'm going to back it out of here and stick it back where I got it. For a little while and move on to some other things. Let's go have a look, and this is going to be like a little recap of the John Deere's. Let's cruise in here, and we're just going to take a little accounting of the green tractors that are here. And did a couple videos so far on the 140H1. This is the first of the 3 tractors that I purchased up east of Portland. Got this one back last weekend. We did get it to fire, so I ordered a carburetor for it, air filter, some tires, tubes, that kind of thing. And we're going to get this thing running and moving under its own power. It's really a son of a gun for me to have stuff that doesn't work, and I have to push it around. So I'd like to be able to get on them, start them up, and move them. So that's a goal for the weekend on this thing, if the carburetor shows up. It was an hour and a half from here yesterday morning at 5:30. That's not saying it will be here today, but it might be. If not today, maybe Monday. And I ordered 2 of them because, if you recall, I said I ordered 2, count them, 2 140s. I bought 2 140s, an H1 and an H2. 3. What am I saying? H3. And I picked those up last night in the rain. Drug them home. Just a few hours driving, maybe a little more than that. And there's the other 140. Again, the H3. The hood, the front end are gone. This thing's been sitting a long time. The engine turns. The starter's gone. Carburetor's there, air filter's there. If I had a couple of pieces to that hood, I could probably rebuild it, but I'm hunting a new one. The grill isn't too expensive to get. I do have the side uprights. I don't have the hood hinges. That's a bummer, because I need to acquire those. This did not have wheels and tires on the rear. I had an extra pair for my 77 Gilson that I painted cat yellow, so they are the wrong color of yellow, but they bolt right up, and that's what we used to get the thing loaded on the trailer and get it home. So carburetors ordered for this as well. I think I've sourced a starter and possibly a hood, possibly some other parts. So that's what's going on with this one. And then next to it is, oh, and by the way, the H1 is a 69 model. This is a 1970. I guess there were a lot of changes, a lot of good changes in 71, but that is a 70 according to the VIN. This is the John Deere 210. This is a 1977 model. The engine's in my truck. It's a 10 horse Kohler that bit the rod, broke the block. Still has all of its motor mounts, clutch and everything on it. The tins, air filter, stuff like that are boxed up there. This is essentially how I got it. I did run it by the car wash just a little bit this morning to knock the dust off. I didn't have the hoods on them because they would have flown away, so the hoods are dirty. So, haven't put the trailer away yet, still sitting here. I got a mower deck for the H3. I got a mower deck for the 210. And the engine, the Kohler engine, is there. The two uprights for the 140 are there. I think that's all the parts. So I'm contemplating what I'm going to do for a motor for the 210. I believe I have found a 14 horse, same block that will fit, and I'm negotiating on that right now with some other parts. So it's again, it'd be like a 3-4 hour commute round trip to go get the parts, but it gets the 210 project going forward. So with that being said, I believe what I'm going to do is start the 210 project. So I would think I'll get the 111 off the lift and put it back in the trailer where it has spent its last year, and then move the 210 inside on the lift. And it's been sitting outside, so it's got some things that are rusted and needs to get lubed and moved. Steering is locked up as well. So I picked up a few extra cans of PB Blaster when I was out running around this morning. I'm sure I'll be able to put that to good use. So without further ado, let me get one tractor out and one tractor in. I'll catch you in a minute. Alright, getting the 210 in the shop was no big deal, even though the steering is frozen. But getting that engine out of my truck, which we set it in front, behind the cab, on the back side of my fifth wheel hitch. I had two people, me and the seller, load that thing up yesterday, and I had to get that thing up and over my fifth wheel hitch. And man, that thing is heavy. Holy smokes! I think the weight on this tractor is like 600 or 700 pounds, but without the engine, I think it's like 18 pounds. All the weight is right there. 10 horsepower. Man, that thing has a power to weight ratio that just sucks. I know they're big and they're heavy duty, and they're heavy. It's all I could do to get it out, get it in here. But it is in here. So I was told the thing spit a rod and broke the block. I'll agree with broke the rod. I can spin it over and there's no activity other than the crank's going round and round. The crank is not broke, but I've looked and a little bit, and I cannot find where the block is damaged. It's not like I have a good vision of it yet. This thing doesn't sit on its butt too good, and somebody's put a big oil drain at the bottom. So I'm gonna I got this piece of strut sitting here that I've been meaning to put in the ceiling for a while, put some eye bolts in it so I can hoist that. So I'm going to take some time to put that piece of strut in the ceiling and rig this thing so that I can hoist it and hang it, so that I can get a good look at it, see what I've really got. If the block is not broken, I might be able to save this motor as is and just put a rod and a piston in it, hone it out, call it a rebuild, and that'll be kind of fun to do, and we'll kind of go from there. So this tractor had been sitting outside for a while. Everything was froze up on it. I've got a half can of PB Blaster. You can see I got it everywhere. So far I got the lift rod. I'll get over here where the daylight's not so prominent. There we go. I got the clutch pedal working, got the throttle working, I got the headlight switch. Well, at least it moves. I haven't tested it electrically. I've got the ignition switch to turn. I got the variator lever to work. I do not have the brake or the steering froze up, and the shifter works fine. So we're getting there with almost everything, getting everything functioning. And then hopefully by the end of the day I'll know what the future is for that big cast iron beast there. So this has 2 solenoids. I didn't know what those were for. Now I see it's got an electric lift. So I don't know if they all had that or not. But anyway, the steering is frozen, and we'll gotta get that freed up, the brake freed up. We'll just keep spraying and keep hoping the PB Blaster will do its magic. So I'm gonna run down the hardware store and get some parts and pieces, and then the next thing you'll see is I'll have this thing hanging so we can do a good block inspection and find out if that block is broken or not. Because if it's not, we can rebuild it. We have the technology. We can make it better and faster than it ever was. Check you in a little while. Well, I've been working to try to free up the steering. I've even loosened the adjuster screw on the steering gear itself. I backed it out a turn or so. I see I have the nut way backed off, and I took it out 1 turn. So I put it back 1 turn when I finally get it to free up. I do finally have it moving. I was using this 2x3 and kind of jamming it into there and prying this direction. I've got it to move just a little bit, so that's progress. We'll let it sit a little bit. I was trying to shoot some grease in that Zerk fitting on the steering gear. It's got a Zerk fitting there on the bottom. And my grease gun with the flexi hose has the flexi hose is taking a dump. So I haven't been to the hardware store yet anyway, so I need to go get some hardware, and I'll get a hose for my grease gun. And we'll get some more grease pushed in there, and we'll keep working with it. Sometimes those are better done patiently and slowly. Let them sit a little and go from there. So I'm headed to the hardware store. Be back shortly. We'll get that thing hanging. Well, what do you think of my rig? Put that strut in the ceiling, lagged it in there, and dropped me a little come along and spreader bar. We got her hanging. So here's the deal. I can't find that this block is damaged in any way. This side looks good. I mean, it just, I'll start taking it apart, but we know the crank is broke, but he said it broke the block. If it did, I can't see it. Did he assume it broke the block? Because it didn't broke over here neither. I can kind of see even behind the starter. I mean, something could present itself as I get this thing farther and farther apart. But right now, I think we're heading down the road to rebuild this motor. This is, what is this thing? Oh yeah, there it is, 241. Kohler 241. Long life. Automatic compression release. Ball bearings. Internal governor. Looks like they put most of the bolts back when they took them out. That's what I do. That's a good thing, especially if you're not going to finish the project. It might have been dropped and bent up some of the pulley stuff because things don't quite line up, but we can deal with that. So, I think tomorrow we'll reconvene. I think we'll end this video here and we'll start one, call it the engine teardown, I suppose. I'm getting a little bit of movement out of the steering gear now. I've got my new hose on my grease gun. I'm not sure if I'm getting any grease in there or not, but tomorrow we'll see. So the only thing I haven't got to move yet is the choke cable. But I did spray PB Blaster the length of the cable and in both ends best I could, and the at the knob itself. And then the brake. I'm not sure what's going on with the brake. But pretty good. I think we're moving forward. So Kohler engine teardown will be next. But for now, thank you guys for watching. Comment. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please do it. Hit the bell to be notified of future videos. And please hit the like button if you would. I do these videos absolutely for free to you. But to help me, hit the like button. Thanks guys. Catch you next time.